Balloon Beats.
What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to Unhinged Live. I'm your host, Patrick Hennessy, joined by Parent Jalen tonight. What's up, boys?
We're
Good,
back.
man. How about
Baby. We're back.
It's been a minute. It's been a hot-ass minute.
Well, I will say I'm back because I feel like you guys have been going live pretty consistently. I've been missing for the past couple weeks, but I'm back, and I'm happy. I'm
Jalen's in
healthy.
good spirits.
I'm in great spirits right now, honestly.
You know what the issue? Well, the first issue of tonight actually is, bro, where's our overlay? First of all.
Or overlay.
There we go. We got it. We're back in action here. So let's get to the topic of discussion tonight. Urshela and Clint Frazier were the two Yankees who were nominated for Gold Glove Awards. Both of them lost.
Yeah.
Am I surprised? Not necessarily. I believe at third base, instead of Gio was Isaiah Kiner Falefa for the Rangers.
Who?
Honestly, I'm pretty sure he had better stats than Gio, right? It's kind of well deserved. Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean,
also,
short season. I wasn't expecting Yankees to win awards anyway. Yankees don't win awards. It's just kind of like our thing. I think Gio deserved it, but I'm also biased. How many games, honestly, can you say you guys watched from other teams this year, especially the Rangers? So, I mean,
yeah.
The last Yankee to win a Gold Glove was Pat's favorite player, Brett Gardner, back in 2016. But
Brett Gardner,
other than those two awards,
did he really win it in 2016?
Yeah,
yep.
Shocking.
That's insane. Yeah,
that's
like
crazy stat. The Yankees have never had a Cy Young Award winner since Roger Clemens in 2001.
Is that surprising?
Yeah, I'm not shocked. Like nothing about that surprises me.
Yeah, who would really be in that discussion as far as like guys that were in, like, I guess CC could have been in there.
Bro, Kigawa.
Bro,
Sunglass Kigawa.
I don't know about you, but Glaber should have gotten Platinum Glove.
If Glaber, I'll say this. I know we're gonna talk later about whatever, like our later, additions to the team. But if Glaber's our starting shortstop next year, like if that's our plan, I'm not going to be satisfied because I do not think – I don't care that he's 23. I don't care that they think he has room to grow. When have we ever seen the Yankees develop defensive players in the infield? Like, really think about it.
Gio Urshela?
But, he was always – that was always his thing. He was always a defensive guy. Like, I don't remember Mark Teixeira was a great defender. We signed him. He was already a great defender. Yeah. Like, I guess Robbie Cano, you could say, was a really good defender.
Like I know
but
Gary
That's going back
Sanchez.
hard.
I know Gary Sanchez is
Yeah.
not the greatest defensive catcher, but when Tony Pena was the Yankees bench coach back in his early days, like 2016, 2017, when Gary first came up, he actually worked with Gary. So
I mean, yeah, they're gonna work. That's their job to work with him. But I don't know how much it really did. He's one of the worst defensive.
the Yankees
I guess
can't.
by numbers they say like he's improved or like he's one of the best framers. I think that's a load of shit. You watch baseball games. I'm making up for all my lost time here, but like, yeah, bro, like think about these guys, bro. Like, when is the last time we had a homegrown guy be like an actually really good defensive player and be like sustain success in the MLB? Like, we see guys that are their only gloves, or like who's that guy, Kyle Holder, who's supposed to be like a really good fielder.
Yeah.
Tyler Wade,
hit,
but like that's my thing. It's like guys like Glaber who are good hitters but not good defenders never get developed to reach the next level as far as defense. Like Miguel Andujar was supposed to develop as a good defensive third baseman. It never happened. Glaber was supposed to develop as a better shortstop. That's not happening. So I don't think that they should waste this core on having Glaber at one of the best premier positions in baseball.
Yeah, but my thing is, we're talking about Miguel Andujar, right? And how he was supposed to develop to a good infielder defensively.
Yeah.
Who in the Yankees developmental system has an eye to think, looking at Miguel Andujar at third base, that this guy's capable of playing at the major league level? Like, who in their right mind would ever think that?
Bro,
they should have had this man at first base 5 years before he even hit the majors.
Or at least trying the outfield.
And then they played him in left field. And look at that.
Bro, what was that? Like, for a team that's so analytically driven, and the fact that, like, they're so lefty-righty analytic splits, they're putting fucking Miguel Andujar in left field. Like,
over Clint Frazier.
It made no sense. But
I
want to go back. I want to go back to what Jalen was saying about Gleyber Torres at shortstop, because, like you said, you don't think that he's the answer at shortstop moving forward. So, Mr. Jalen, I want you to provide us with some context as to who you think could take over for Gleyber at short.
Yeah, well, I'll give you my realistic answer, and then I'll give you my...
Go for it.
Both of these are realistic, to be honest with you. But with how the Yankees have been operating the past few years, I could see them signing a guy like Andrelton Simmons to like a one-year deal, incentive-based. And I think signings like that are very similar to what they thought they were going to do with DJ. Like, DJ was not supposed to be our MVP, perennial all-star candidate. Like, that guy was supposed to be a rotational piece that you basically plugged in 5 days out of the week, and you gave guys days off. He wasn't even in the opening day lineup when he first signed. So he played his way to where he's at now. And I think a guy like Andrelton Simmons could be one of those low-risk, high-reward signings where you sign him for his glove, you shore up one of the most awful positions that we have as far as defense goes. You shore that up. He's a high-contact guy. His WRC, I was reading somewhere, is like higher than average. And his WAR was only behind some other random guy who I don't really have any, affiliation with. I think his name is like Francisco Lindor or something like that.
Yeah, never heard of him.
He's right behind that, and that's how good this guy's glove is. He has a rocket for an arm, and he's been consistent. So I could see them bringing a guy like Andrelton Simmons. I think moves like that have to be made anyway because our depth really showed how thin it is this past year. We thought we had so much depth because Mike Ford and Mike Tauchman had like anomaly years, but
yeah,
I think we know now that we need to bring in guys that are proven veterans. A guy like Tommy LaStella maybe, just to provide some depth off the bench because injuries are going to happen with this team, so you have to be prepared for that. However,
I love Tommy LaStella.
Yeah, no, I think that's a guy that you bring in, and he has a similar, obviously not to the same extent, but he has a similar impact that you would expect from DJ. Just how versatile he is. He puts the ball in play. Those are the type of guys that win you playoff games.
Yep.
However,
here we go.
However, if the Yankees are going to make a big transaction this offseason, the time is now to get Francisco Lindor. I will say it until pitchers and catchers report. And here's why. The Indians know that they're not going to re-sign Lindor. Everyone knows it. They've basically said it. They basically told their fans, we're not re-signing this guy. So why would they wait and make the same mistake that the Orioles made with Machado and get nothing for him when we can give them guys who have shown they can play at the major league level, but they just have no place on this team. Guys like Andor, guys like our quadruple A guys that are just borderline. Tyler Wade, Tyro Estrada, they can really rebuild their depth in Cleveland, get maybe one or two minor league arms, and we get the best shortstop in baseball. I just don't see how that's not crossing Cashman's mind. I'm sure it is, but I don't know, man. And then you can sign.
Let me ask you a question. We all know that you communicate with Mr. Francisco Lindor all the time.
Yeah, so, that's my guy. That's my guy.
Yeah. I mean, because he also told you that he was going to take it a little bit easy on us in the wild card series, so that was awesome of him. Send him another thank you message from me.
No, I will. But, actually, I have dinner coming up with him in a couple of weeks. So
okay, cool. Yeah, maybe I'll join. I know I couldn't make it last time because I was talking with Luke Voigt, but. Back to what I was saying. What's the latest as far as Francisco Lindor trade rumors go? Has he heard anything?
He actually hasn't. He's been trying to stay away from Twitter and social media. He's just really a down to earth guy that doesn't want to hear about all the negativity that's going on in the world. Period.
Yeah, he's just a solid dude.
You know what? I FaceTimed him yesterday to just check on him. And he was saying he actually went bike riding with Gio.
Wow.
So yeah,
does he like Josh? Does he like Josh Nader? Because that guy looks like a million.
He actually hates every part of Josh Naylor.
Wow. Okay. Great. So,
I said Nader. The guy's name is Naylor.
Nader. No, I think Lindor. I think Lindor. I watched like a maniac that I am. I watched his like exit interview press conference in Cleveland after we swept them, and you could just tell like he knows his. It may not be this offseason, but he knows he's not going to be in Cleveland long term. He was basically like saying his goodbyes to the Cleveland media, and they were asking him like, "Do you see yourself here in the future?" And he was kind of just beating around the bush, saying like, "You guys know what's going to happen." And he's been asked a lot about the Yankees. I'm sure it's crossed his mind before. It's a pretty cool thing for him to think about playing alongside his best friend on the left side at Yankee Stadium. I'm sure anybody would want to do that. I would love to see it, but I really have flip-flopped on if this is going to happen or not, because for a while I was like, there's no way that this isn't happening. When they didn't bring back Didi, when they didn't trade for Machado, I was like, they're waiting for either Corey Seager or Lindor, and I think Corey Seager's not going anywhere. So I think Lindor had to be the guy, but with how the money is played out and coronavirus now affecting Hal's pockets, I guess, like so much. He went from being a super billionaire to like a less super billionaire.
Such a shame.
But yeah, no, I really do think that it's something that should happen, but I'm like 50-50 on if it would.
Yeah, I mean, going based off of what you said before, I wanted to go back to George's comment in the chat, actually. He said Torres is good, but I'd rather have a bat like Didi come home, sign DJ, and move Torres back to second. What do you guys think about re-signing Didi? Because I wouldn't be a fan of it at all.
Para, what do you think? I know you look like you're chomping at the bit, buddy.
I mean, I love Didi, and I would love to have him back, but it goes down to the point where are you going to put him? Because if you don't trade for Lindor or anybody, if you re-sign DJ, what are you going to do with Voit at first? Who's going to be your second baseman? So it goes down to the point. There would have to be a trade. But realistically, either the Yankees are downplaying of trading for Lindor, but honestly, I would sign a guy like Jonathan VR to be a backup utility guy for the infield rather than bring back Didi. So that way,
I think Villar's going to start with somebody.
I agree.
I don't think he's going to ride the bench. I wouldn't really say it's like the same sort of like DJ situation, because DJ was coming off a down year in his standards, and he wasn't even really going to be a bench guy for the Yankees. He was still going to play almost every day, but as a utility man, just revolving around the infield. Not to be a downer, but do you guys think Lindor to the Dodgers? Jalen, would you cry yourself to sleep the night that happened?
To be honest with you, no, because I've already almost like accepted that if he does get moved, that's where he's going to go. I think the Dodgers have been in the past 3-4 years what we want the Yankees to be. they've made it to the World Series, and every time they make it, they do something else to say, okay, we need to change what's going on here. And it hasn't worked for like the past 4 years. They kept choking. But they finally made that big move that put them over the top. And I know people, oh yeah, it's a COVID year, it's the shortened season. They were the best team in baseball, and it wasn't even close. Like, they didn't even have David Price this year. I know we own David Price, but everyone else doesn't. He's a great pitcher.
David Price must be kicking himself.
I mean, maybe he probably gets a ring still. I don't
think so.
No, I'm sure he gets one. He's on the roster.
Yeah, but he didn't play at all.
Doesn't matter. There's still players that are injured.
Bro, they give like custodians rings. He'll get one.
That's true. I think all the Yankee Stadium staff gets rings too.
Yeah, it depends on it depends on the circumstance. Like Domingo Germán didn't play this year, but if the Yankees won the World Series, he wouldn't get a ring because it was disciplinary. But David Price opted out for like health reasons, so it's probably a little different. But yeah, no, I really think like the Dodgers are the type of team to just say, you know what, fuck it, let's add another guy. Like, why not? And they are doing what we want the Yankees to do. The Yankees are just like, no, we're good enough, and they're not. But
you're not good enough.
Yeah.
Didi has negative 22 outs above average and minus 11 defensive run saves since 2018 at shortstop. I don't understand why people like look at Didi Gregorius like, damn, that's a Gold Glove infielder. Yes, he's better than Gleyber Torres, but he by no means is he an above average shortstop. I think
this guy said yikes on kites.
That's something Brandon would say.
What is that?
That's something Brandon or Brian would say.
I've never heard that before. But next question. What is your opinion that ESPN said that Blue Jays would get DJ for 4 years?
Pick me.
Yeah, Jalen.
I read this article, and you know what's crazy is that ESPN is not the only website to have DJ going to Toronto. I forgot where I saw it. It was on Bleacher Report, but another website had the same prediction. And what was funny is that they predicted DJ to Toronto for 4 years, $68 million. And to me, if the Yankees let DJ go anywhere for 4 years, $68 million, what's that? 17 years? 17 mil a year?
I'm not good at math.
I'm pretty sure it's 17. If they let DJ go anywhere for 17 mil a year for only 4 years, I'm gonna have a serious problem. Unless they literally trade for Lindor and like.
I mean, if you're really surprised, didn't they let Patrick Corbin walk away for like an additional $10 million?
That's different though. But that's different because Patrick Corbin produced in the NL West, which only really has the Dodgers as far as like at that time as far as tough competition. And you didn't know what you were going to get from him. Like you hoped that he was going to be a good, reliable, like number 2 or 3 starter. But coming to the American League East, you weren't sure. And I'm sure they should have given him that extra year because they gave it to J Happ. But still,
now worked out so well.
I'm telling you, it's like it made no sense how they were willing to go the extra year.
If I'm not mistaken, when Machado and Harper were free agents,
to you, Jalen, because I would have.
Which player did the Yankees say they signed for insurance? Was that Tulowitzki or was that DJ? When they said to Machado, "We're just signing this as a insurance."
That was DJ.
Yeah, it was DJ. Because I'm pretty sure Tulo was supposed to be the everyday shortstop.
Tulo was supposed to be our starting shortstop in what was that? That was 2018.
Yeah.
Or
2019.
2019, because Didi was hurt.
Right, 2019. Yeah, 2019, because Didi was coming off the Tommy John. Yeah, no. Tulo was supposed to be our everyday shortstop.
The Yankee, bro, that was like a fever dream. What was that?
It made
like 3 days.
It made no sense.
That was like 10 years too late.
But it's like it's so exemplary of like what the Yankees have been trying to do for the last like 10 years, bro. Like they dig in the bottom of the barrel and they just think like, no, Tulo was not in 17. Didi was our shortstop in 17.
I think he's thinking of Matt Holliday because sometimes I get those two mixed up a little.
No, Matt Holliday was definitely in 2017, even though he barely played in the playoffs. Yeah. Jacoby Ellsbury DH'd in the 2017 playoff. Just think about that for a second. Anyways, though, like it just doesn't make sense to me how we keep digging at the bottom of the barrel for like Troy Tulowitzki's coming off like 12 surgeries to be our everyday shortstop when you had a chance to acquire Manny Machado.
Yeah,
Like-
but that's my thing. The Yankees are always like they try to play money ball, like the
Yeah.
Oakland Athletics. Meanwhile, they have triple the payroll capabilities. And I'm gonna give my prediction for this offseason of one guy the Yankees are gonna sign, and that's Taijuan Walker. He's your typical Yankee signee. It's not gonna cost a lot of money, and they've been linked to him for years. Like
That's unfortunate.
it's typical when the Yankees are linked to somebody for so long, or Robbie Ray.
I was gonna
another
say
typical
Robbie
Yankee
Ray.
sign.
Robbie Ray is. I'd like bet money that they're gonna sign Robbie Ray to like a 1-year deal, or maybe
Ryan's
two.
got some hits tonight. Tulo still somehow mattered more than him.
Hey, he has a home run. He has a home run.
If Robbie
in
Ray signs with the Yankees, his first game is going to be like Kigawa, give up 7 runs, 20 hits.
How do we always end up back at Kigawa?
It's the
I don't know.
sunglasses,
Okay.
bro. It's the
All right,
sunglasses.
Tell me if I'm crazy here. I can see a world where Robbie Ray becomes one of those weird signings that we pick up, and he becomes like a pretty like we look back and we're like, wow, that was actually a really good pickup, like a really solid, underrated pickup. And here's why: he's a big strikeout guy, he's a lefty, and when he's on, as we saw with the Blue Jays, when he's on, he can be pretty dominant. I just feel like when the Diamondbacks were competitive, he was a lot better. When they started sucking, who? Okay, guys, really, realistically, who amongst the Unhinged team could you see pitching with sunglasses on?
Oh, Brian.
No doubt in my mind, Brian.
Brian.
1,000%.
Brian.
Really? I thought you were
Actually,
This is how
Brian.
Brian. Like when Brian's warming up, this is how his entry should be. He's gonna come with the shades.
I would play the video right now, but it's so bad. But yeah, no, I think Brian would definitely be the one with the shades on the mound. But going back to what you were saying about Robbie Ray, I would kind of agree with you. But the only issue is the Yankees just don't have that track record with pitchers. They always seem to get pitchers that they think are going to work out, and then they just never do.
They don't.
Like,
if he was an offensive player, yeah, I would probably say he would come here and dominate. But they just, for some reason, pitchers come to Yankee Stadium. I don't know if it's because of the small ass dimensions compared to where they're coming from, but they just suck, and it's painful on every level.
I'm sure that's a part of it. I'm sure a big part of it is like coming in knowing that they're putting a lot of trust in you and trying to do too much. We kind of saw with Cole early on. He was trying to do a lot, put the team on his back, and once he settled down, he was fine. But a lot of guys don't settle down.
Yeah. Were you saying something, Barry?
No, I was just saying.
Oh, you look like you were about to say something.
I want to go back. For some reason, whenever Jalen is on the podcast, it's always like, "Are you gonna say anything, Farrell?"
Yeah, because you always look like you're about to say something, and then I'm like,
do I make you nervous, Barra?
No, you do not.
he's sweating his ass off. Going back to what Jalen asked before about who we think on the Unhinged team would wear shades on the mound, I have another question. Which one of the members of the Unhinged team would be most likely to be caught multiple times with a Michael Pineda incident?
Oh, Brandon. Brandon without a doubt.
Brandon?
Because that kid is so slow.
Finesse his way through the system.
I
would say Brandon. That's a solid guess.
That's fair. I mean,
yeah, I would say that's fair.
I can't think of any yeah.
All right. Jalen, I know you came up with another trade scenario. Did you not?
Yeah. No, like I said, I think I can see the Yankees making one big move, followed by a bunch of lower scale stuff surrounding it. But I think if it was last either trade deadline or last offseason, the Yankees showed a lot of interest in Josh Hader. With Tommy Kahnle being shut up.
Poor kid.
With the Yankees showing with the Yankees, did they non-tender Kahnle? Was that what it was, or they just let him? They gave him his rights to free agency. He elected free agency.
Yeah.
With him, we don't know if he's coming back because he's probably not going to pitch much of 2021. And the bullpen kind of just being up in the air right now, where we had to rely on Jonathan Loaizaga for important innings. I could see a world where they don't really go too hard for the rotation. They kind of let the kids handle it. They maybe bring back Tanaka, let Davey get a permanent role, let Jordan Montgomery get a permanent role, but then try to rebuild that bullpen and rebuild that like four-headed monster, because Ottavino was supposed to be a part of that. He's not anymore. Canley's gone. So I could see them putting together a package for Josh Hader, and then you go Garrett Cole when Sevy comes back, Tanaka, Davey Garcia, and Jordan Montgomery. And then your bullpen looks like Sessa. You have Chad Green. You have Loizaga. You have Adam Ottavino. You have swing guys like Michael King. Nick Nelson is in there as well. And then you get to the later innings, and you have Zach Britton, you have Josh Hader, and Aroldis Chapman. And that is absolutely devastating.
The only issue would be they're all lefties.
To me, that's not a problem because I think Zach Britton gets both people out. I do have a hot take. I think Chapman shouldn't be our closer anymore, but that's for another day.
Old.
Yeah, we can talk about that later. But
that's
I think
another episode.
That's a whole nother episode. But I think Chapman shouldn't be our closer anymore. But I don't mind having lefties, especially in Yankee Stadium. Yeah, that's not really an issue for me, especially guys like a guy like Zach Britton, who it doesn't matter what side of the plate you hit on, he's going to get you out.
Yeah, no, I agree.
And Hader's the same way, I believe. I think Hader actually has reverse split. So
yeah, I mean, before we do wrap things up tonight, I think I'm going to take George's question. Will Clark Schmidt see some time next year as well? I think he's going to start the season in AAA. He's going to probably get a few months in there because he clearly was not ready this season. Yeah. I think we'll see him maybe around June, July.
Agreed. There'll probably be some injuries and he'll come up.
Yeah. But before we do wrap things up tonight, we touched on all the topics I want to hit on. However, shout out to Para's eyebrows. Para, give yourself some props. Your eyebrows are looking solid as hell tonight, my guy. Threaded, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Para, can you give us like a 30 to 45 second like solo speech? Just like give me anything you're thinking of right now. Could be about anything in the entire world. I just want to know your thoughts.
Give us like a tutorial for your eyebrows.
There we go.
I'm not gonna give you a tutorial on my eyebrows. Like honestly.
Nice bushes.
I'm not gonna put you on the spot, Para. We won't put.
No, but honestly,
he wants it.
I'll say this.
My gum.
I'll say this: the Yankees don't need any more bats. They don't need any more offense with this team because we already know what they can do. They're inconsistent no matter who you put in that lineup. But they need pitching, so I wouldn't mind signing a guy like Corey Kluber to a 1-year deal. Give him like a $5 million deal. See how he can work with Matt Blake and at the bottom part of that rotation. So if you get him starting rotation until somebody comes back of Cole,
why are you trying to
Tanaka?
Subtly?
Fixing my hat, man.
Yeah, sure.
Are you trying to impress somebody, Jalen?
I'm trying to impress you.
Oh, it's the eyebrows, isn't it?
This just took a turn. This just took a whole ass turn.
Look, it's election week. We're getting a little weird here.
No, you know what was the weirdest point? Postseason. We cannot talk about some of the things that happened in the chat during that time.
Bro, that live that went to like 3 a.m.
Yeah, that was interesting.
It went to 3 a.m. It went to 3 a.m, and then I wake up to a FaceTime.
Okay, time out. Before we end, no. So everyone stop for 1 second. But repin that comment.
Pause?
Yes. I need to explain as a true New Yorker. Pause. Give me where's the camera? Pause.
It's his laptop and he's asking where's the camera.
Where's the camera? Matter of fact, pause is used way too frequently and incorrectly. You don't say pause for something that is clearly, I'm not going to get into it because we'll get canceled. But pause is if it's like subtle, not like an obvious joke. It bothers me all the time because you guys in the chat, will say something like ridiculous and then be like, pause, bro. Like that's not a pause.
Listen, Jalen, I think it's kind of well deserved here because it was a little sus what you said. But
it was blatantly sus.
He needed
Oh,
to be
it's
honest
true.
with you. Jalen actually said it to me once. I put it in the wrong sequence, and he's like, "Bro, you gotta stop."
In private?
No, in the group chat.
All right.
Bro. It's overused
line.
with the candy necklace jokes.
Everything's
Everything's done.
That's so sad one. So sad.
We gotta retire it.
Yeah, so that's gonna wrap it up for us tonight. Tomorrow, however, we have a big live. The return of Unhinged Trivia. Not sure if any of you guys watching have ever seen Unhinged Trivia before, but we're gonna do it live for the first time tomorrow night. We're gonna be blindfolded, may or may not be a complete and utter shit show. Should be fun.
Why? Why are you being what?
Can we give a background story of Unhinged Trivia? How it first started?
No.
Am I the first black winner of Unhinged Trivia?
I guess if you want to take that account.
I'm the first black contestant, first black winner.
Okay, quick story about how it started.
Equality here, bro.
We were planning on doing. Brian is the one who came up with the idea of Unhinged Trivia. But the first time we ever did it, we never put it up on YouTube because this kid was asking. Back in 1921, the New York Yankees were known as the Highlanders. Who was the starting pitcher for that day? And then
Jalen, do you know the answer?
Bro, I was not listening. What did you say?
This is why Car doesn't talk, bro. Every time he talks, you don't listen.
No. Say it again. My bad. I'm tuned in now.
Stay tuned for Unhinged Trivia tomorrow night. This has been Unhinged Live, sponsored by Dugout Mugs.
Yeah, shout out Dugout Mugs. DugoutMugs.com/unhinged. Purchase yours today. Leave us a voicemail too. 347-352-1881. Higashioka. Boom, boom, boom.
He's a home run stroker.
Be sure to tune into Unhinged Trivia tomorrow night. We love you guys. Jalen's back tonight. First ever black winner of Unhinged Trivia. He has that right. So I think we should end it with a very special clip tonight. Has to do with a current event in the world, and we will see you guys next time. Might be out for the year.
He's having a good year.
Bless you. All right, cool. Let's do this.